Alright, I never did a card review before, so this will be my first time, but I really wanted to talk about these new Speedroid cards. Also, just an update, I do have a big video planned, it's just taking me a while to script because this video is intended to be long, so just a heads up. I'm hoping to get it out before the end of September, or at least the beginning of October, so just be on the lookout. Alright, let's talk about these new cards. I'm not going to read the cards word for word, I'll just give a summary on how their effects work and how good they are, because by now you probably read them, so I'll just be giving my thoughts in this video. Starting things off, we have Speedroid Kernel, who's basically a monkey board and super heavy samurai prodigy for Speedroids. However, the only difference is that you are win restricted, as well as forced to banish a Speedroid card from your graveyard, so it's not entirely free compared to the previous two. His monster effect lets him flow into another copy that becomes a tuner, which pairs well with the next card, and the final effect gives the clear wing monster an extra 700 attack when it battles, so I give this card a 10 out of 10. Next up we have Speedroid Wing Synchron, which has a really interesting effect of summoning Clearwing by using your scales as materials. This helps the deck with certain synchro plays like Crystal Clearwing in the new card, and I know people hate pendulums, but I gotta say, this is a pretty creative way of synchro summoning. I'll give credit to Konami for this one, and his monster effect is the Foolish Burial Goods for Speedroids that works well with the new trap they got, so another 10 out of 10 card. The third card we got is a new synchro tuner named Speedroid Glider 2, which has a Monster Reborn effect that makes synchro summoning the new boss monster a lot easier, and his second effect not only can disrupt the opponent's Xyz and synchro plays, but it can also help Clear Wing's effect by turning any level 4 or lower monster into a level 5 or higher. By doing that, it always makes Clear Wing's effect live, which I could see come in handy in certain cases. Again, another 10 out of 10 card. The support's really looking good here. Then we got this new trap card, Speedroid Clear Wander, which is basically a Salmon Great Rage, but its graveyard effect is even more useful because it resets the Synchro Dragon's effects, so you can negate with them again. Oh yeah, it also resets Baron's effect, but thankfully she's banned and never coming back, so this trap is a must in the deck. Again, another 10 out of 10 card here. And finally, we got Yugo's new boss monster, Crystal Clearwing Synchro Over Dragon. That is a long ass name. This thing is literally Quasar Dragon, literally. Their effects are almost so similar to each other that it's kind of funny. An Omni Negate and a floating effect, almost word for word, but I ain't complaining. I'm happy with this card. Speedroids needed this. And thankfully, this thing is not the hardest thing to summon. Yes, I know it requires the original Clearwing, but the new support makes it so easy, and considering that you have two ways of doing it, either through a Synchro Tuner or two regular tuners, it's a pretty easy boss monster to get out. Also, yes, I know it can be summoned off Crimson Dragon, but I have a question about that. Would you play this card over Cosmic Blazar Dragon? While I understand both cards are an Omni Negate and this card can float into the level 10 Crystal Clearwing, I would argue Blazar is just better. You get a monster that infinitely recurs itself to negate a card. Meanwhile, with the new Clearwing, you have to dedicate extra deck space to fully take advantage of its floating effect. Maybe I'm wrong and this card is better than Blazar, but in my opinion, I'd rather summon a monster that infinitely recurs itself over this card. Now, do I think this new support will make Speedroids Tier 1? Probably not. One big factor for why I think that is Baron de Fleur being banned. Since she's gone, the deck doesn't have an easier Omni Negate to go into. And another thing that this deck is still susceptible to is Nib. Every combo I've seen that tries to stop Nib can get hurt by Ash since it involves Scratch, which can be a neg-2 if Ash resolves, and every one-card Speedroid combo I've seen can be stopped by Nib, so the deck can still be hurt by the previous cards that it did before, though I do think the deck could have rogue potential like Melodious did when they got their new support from Legacy of Destruction. Terratop being at 3 also helps a lot because now the deck has 6 Stratos, so I do see potential. But if you ask me if I think it has Tier 1 status on it, I don't think so. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but we'll see. Anyways, that's pretty much the end of my video. I kind of just haphazardly threw this script together, so some things might not sound right, but I just really wanted to talk about these cards. Anyways, I'll see you guys around.